Okay, here I am. Here we are, experiencing feelings that are sucky, but I guess I'm not supposed to judge them. I don't know. Today was not ideal feeling. When you just wake up and it's just, you feel the feels, and I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't know, I'm feeling all these, like, feelings around my family and stuff. It's been over a month now of no contact, and I don't know, I just feel like mixed feel, like, I don't know, I feel bad. It's just, like, sad. I don't know. It was my birthday a few days ago, and I just didn't talk to any of my family on my birthday, which was my choice and what I wanted, but I just felt, like, sad them reaching out to me and not, like, getting a response, and then I hear about this stuff from my partner because he has my family on Facebook, or he's in contact with them if they want to check up on how I'm doing or whatever. But, like, hearing about people making Facebook posts, but then, like, it's just fake and surface level-ish, like, no, I don't know, I feel bad even saying that. Like, obviously I'm these people's daughter, and, like, I get wanting to make a Facebook post when it's your daughter's birthday and stuff like that, but there's just this, like, really intense feeling about that thing, like, the sadness in this, like, public display of the, like, this is my daughter, and that, and happy birthday to her, and, like, the public display of, like, the relationship, and then, like, behind the scenes, like, actually what's going on, like, me just feeling so disconnected from so many people. But I feel a bit better because in one of my live streams, I talked about a certain situation with my very, very close friend triggering something within me. And I was aware of it, but I just, like, couldn't talk about it yet because I just didn't feel comfortable or safe enough. It was just weird for me to have my own feelings and have something that, like, upset me a bit, but, like, I knew she didn't know or, like, do anything wrong, but I still, like, felt a certain way or insecure about something. So then I finally, she had been calling me, and I'm just not even on my phone, so I don't get it. But I had seen that she called me a bunch of different times, because it had been, I think it was sometime in, like, April that we last sort of communicated, maybe. So I finally had the guts to call her and talk about my feelings. Talk about my feelings. Ew. It's not ew, though. We need to validate it, that it's healthy and normal and fine, but it's so ew to me because it was just such a protective mechanism before, to turn everything on myself and for it all to be me and my problem, and not to talk about the feelings. Like, that's not productive. Like, you're gonna get yelled at, you're gonna feel worse, so don't talk about them. And this being my closest friend that I knew there's no way, like, she would not gaslight me, she would not get all defensive and stuff, she's not like that, but I just still had this, like, ingrained fear in my body of that, something like that happening. Like, just so, it's just so, it can be really anxious and uncomfortable to just, like, say the thing. And I definitely was still nervous, and I was like, okay, so I just, like, I got weird about this thing that sort of happened, and this and that, and because I also just didn't want her to feel bad at all because she didn't do anything wrong, but she did feel bad. But she was like, don't feel bad that I feel bad, like, I just will. She's someone who's reflective, who sees her part in a relationship, that maybe there's something that she could have done different or something, but I still feel like I needed that. Like, what happened with what happened, whatever miscommunication it was, actually kicked off this whole thing of how I was being in all my other relationships, and my boundaries and my feelings and things like that. So I was like, it was such a great thing that actually had happened, because it helped me with all those things. But it is nice to like have talked to my friend and that, but like I'm still moving through, like I was just upfront and honest with her that I still like get all these like insecurities, and she knows all my stuff and my problems, but I never like talk about it with her in regards to me and her. And I was like, yeah, I've been like, I had been in such like, I get in such placating fawn response mode, and I get nervous, like I'm like embarrassed to say that, but I get like nervous just talking to you. I have this like such a big fear of abandonment that even I just had said the only person that I actually feel calm and like fully myself, or I can be myself just like really calm with, is my partner, my romantic partner. And I'm like, that's including everyone, that's my entire like family pretty much. So there's that. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just know for some reason when I talk about this to the internet, I feel better. And thanks for the lovely comments and support, and everyone else. I'm acknowledging you and your journeys as well. People have been sharing that they're going through similar things, and it like helps me feel less alone. And it is nice to see those comments. So I thank you guys for also being vulnerable and sharing and taking the time to comment. But yeah, I want to eat all the junk food. I've been already on a junk food bender, and it's hard to get out of it. Yesterday, okay, I had one sugary thing yesterday. Like, it's not about sugar being the devil either. It's about balance, but so I just really struggle with the food and feelings because I am an emotional eater, but at the same time, I've had a history of pretty intense like disordered ways of eating, or like obsessive eating, going on these extreme different kinds of diets and getting actually anxious about eating sugar, thinking that it's fully directly making me anxious, but it kind of causes some anxiety, I feel. But then again, like I would get really flustered and anxious if I had an ice cream or something. Like I remember when I was working, and on my lunch break, I went to McDonald's and had like a little ice cream thing. And then I started having like all this anxiety and self-fulfilling prophecy of being more socially anxious than normal, or like this ice cream's gonna make me socially anxious now. And then it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then it just like the all or nothing thing does not seem to work with me, where it's like I have to cut out all sugar. What helps is making it a choice. It's like I'm aware of this, but I still have such an urge to do it. Like I'm at a point right now, today especially, I don't know if it's because of my hormones. I think it was the last live stream I did. I was talking about this podcast I listened to about females and their hormones and their cycle, and depending on where you are, like I definitely feel like I get a dip in mood. Like I feel depressed. I get certain symptoms about a week to 2 weeks before I get my period, and it's just different than today. It just feels different. It feels like way harder to just push through. There's other days where I feel like I'm letting myself get a little bit dramatic, and I can definitely just do it. But like, I'm still painting my room. If you know, I'm still painting my room. And I'm just doing the trim and stuff now, though. Like, the big parts of it have been done. Although the trim was really dirty, and, like, there's these black marks on it that took forever to, like, scrub off. And I'm doing the trim white. So it's just, like, the paint has not been known to cover very well. I, like, will do 3 coats, but I can't. Like, I did 3 coats of one side of the trim. And this is, like, trim on the ground where there's carpet. And the friggin' carpet could not get it clean enough. Like the cat hair just sticks in the seams of the carpet. And so then when I'm like going and trying to do the trim, I use like a putty knife, I guess what it's called, like a flat metal edge. And I tried so many different methods with this. Like I tried taping the carpet and that, but like the carpet puffs up way too much. Like it doesn't sit flush enough with the wall. So that it was just messing up the trim. And the trim doesn't have to be perfect, but the annoying thing is like this cat hair that I couldn't get out from underneath the trim gets all up in my brush, all up in my trim, and it's just really annoying. Like, I've accepted it, it's fine, but I try to limit it as much as I can because it's just kind of, I don't want fluffs all at the bottom of my trim. But where was I going with this? I have let this project consume me. I've let another project consume me yet again, and like and get like everything just revolves around this one thing. But it's because like it's kind of true that so many things stand in the way of this one thing. Like, I've talked about this before, I have this shelf, this big shelf, and why I wanted to paint the trim, like it had to be done at this moment in time because, you know, I could have maybe paced myself and done it, whatever. It's because this shelf is, I have to build it and stuff, and then it's really heavy and big, and it would just be really annoying to have to get the shelf out of the room if I ever wanted to paint the trim. And the trim does just suck and annoy me. Like, the walls are a different color of white than the trim, and then the trim has all the scuffs, marks, and the whatever. So I just feel like okay, someone's walking right in front of my car and it's distracting me. There's so many steps involved to getting this whole thing done. Like, the end goal is to have this nice bedroom, this like aesthetic that I got to choose for once in my life, because I feel like I have never been in an environment that I feel like I like. I am very picky, but even, this is a petty complaint, like some kids don't even have food, but okay, sorry. I was able at one point to like pick the color of my room, and they fucked it up. Like, I said I want baby blue, like my favorite color is like baby blue, sky blue, whatever, and they did this like depressing grayish, depressing blue. Like, I got to do this because we ended up moving to a new house, so it was like they were painting the whole thing. My parents were getting it painted, whatever. So there was this one moment in time, because like the old house, I don't know, I wasn't gonna paint it, and I just was pretty little. And yeah, we weren't doing renos at all, but it was because we specifically moved into a new place, so it was like they were changing things about it and that. And so yeah, I just remember hating that room. I just remember hating that room forever. And so I just like I'm scared of getting things wrong, and I keep changing my mind. Like, I was obsessing about the other video I talked about this. I was just obsessing about the door, what is it called? Decor. Let's just call it the door decor. Just like the doorknob, the hinges specifically, and then there's a coat hanger hook on my door. Like, it's so annoying and stupid. Like, who cares about the color of the hinges of my door? Like, they're just a silver metal color, but it was not going with my vibe. Like, I wanted to have a specific color panel scheme for this whole room, and silver did not fit into that. It was more so gold, or I later decided I was okay with like black accents or whatever. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of just like white and black. Like, it can just be a bit much and intense and Cruella de Vil. But I make decisions and then I keep changing them. Like, up until this point, like, the door was gonna be painted the same white as the walls as well. The door is that same other white color as the trim was, and the door has all these like black scuff marks, so I want to paint the door. Like, I wanted everything to be this one color of white. And then I decided I wanted to put the bed coming out of the closet, and the inside of the closet is all scuff marky and really sucky, so I want to paint that, and I was going to do that white as well. Everything was just going to be this one white color. And then I started to have this idea. Oh no. It's like everything got derailed because I was like, what if I painted the door black to go with other, like, because the doorknob was going to just be black with the white, but then I was like, okay, now we have black in the mix of the color scheme. Like, it was going to be whites with like tans and like linen, canvasy. I have all my plants in these clay, orangey terracotta pot things. Like, so I was wanting to do like whites with creams with that tan and then whatever color. And then I was like, can black, like, I thought the gold doorknobs and stuff would be, it might come off as too tacky. You know what it was? I was stressing about I want to get a new doorknob because I want to have a lock on my door because I want to feel safe. Like, it's just a subconscious thing at this point. But as a kid, I just didn't get privacy. Like, people would just barge into my door. Like, I remember I would change. I'm sure people watching this, you can relate to this. I think it can be a common thing. I don't think it's just me. Yeah, there's just like families that don't know how to friggin' knock. I would change right against my door. I would change right, like I would change my full clothes and everything and be in an anxious state every time I had to change because I just didn't want someone walking in on me half naked. Like, I just didn't want, I wanted some privacy. But I had to change against the door because people would barge, and people would try to come in. Like, I would stop them when I had to change against the door. And like, I still have some of those like habits almost in a way and stuff. My partner knows to knock. I've taught him. We've gotten it down pat at this point pretty much, but there, like, sometimes there's a slip up. But so if I have the lock, there's no problem. And I know no one's getting in there. No one gonna be getting in there unless they break down the friggin' door, and that's not gonna be happening. So, I was like, okay, I'm okay with gold accents. I thought I would spray paint the door hinges gold because they're perfectly fine, don't need new ones, and then I get a brand new doorknob with a lock on it. That's gold. But I was like, what if the two golds don't match? What, like, obviously this is a metaphor. It's like me wanting the perfectionism with the room and the things and the items. It's like, yeah, metaphorically, it's for my life, the chaos. Like, I grew up obviously in chaos. Like, it's my urge and desire to have like no chaos. Like, if my brain doesn't have to deal with a color that shouldn't be there, it's less chaos. Like, and the organizing, like, I am just one way or the other. Like, if I can't have it how I want it, a lot of times it's not at all how I want it. Like, things are messy, there's no effort or attempt to make it nice or have nice decor or anything. Like, if I cannot attain a certain degree and a bit of a high standard of, okay, it's enough of what I like, it doesn't matter at all. Then I just like don't obsess as much or care about, like, when the walls were already scuffed and stuff. Like, do you think I cared to make another scuff mark? No. It's exactly like how, okay, when I got my first cell phone when I was like 13 or something, or 14. I got my first cell phone. It was a Razr. I think it's called a Razr, I think. Motorola Razr. And it was red, and it was shiny, and it was perfect. It was like my little baby that I took care of. I literally carried around a friggin' cloth with it that I would wipe it, like, all the fingerprints off. Like, I would keep it in mint condition, and I had anxiety about this thing getting a single scratch because I was like, it's gonna be tarnished. And then that fateful day came where it got that scratch. But yeah, so I went through some initial despair, shock, grief about that scratch, and then I had nothing else to do but accept it. So as soon as I accepted it and it was okay, and it was like, okay, there's nothing to maintain here, it's already imperfect, then I didn't really give a shit about it anymore. And so that was that. But there's something about me having something precious and it going to shit, like a fear of it just getting ruined or going to shit. So I don't know. But then there's also something with matching I don't know what's so wrong about things not matching as much. That's like not as intense as having some valuable, nice thing that has like a big scratch on it. So we're trying to figure that one out. Okay, this is what it is. Obviously, folks, this is what it is. It gives me something to control. It gives me something to control. So I get to have control over just like one thing in my life because I tend to feel so out of control, right? So, and there's something about messing, like not getting the things to match that feels wrong, or it's like, I don't know, like, I'm always probably gonna have an urge to have this type of control. Like, I'm a control freak. It's ingrained in me. Maybe I can make a new set of control freak rules that aren't so intense. It's like, okay, if it's the same color, it's controlling enough. It doesn't have to match. But it's okay. Like, okay, things cannot exactly match, but they at least have to be like the same tone. Like two golds, like gold, like a yellow gold and a brass gold. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can do that. I just didn't understand when people started to match. I was looking up jewelry online or something for my ears, my ear, all gold. They're all gold. They have to match. Every single one of them have to match. I was looking up jewelry online, and I remember like people were mixing rose gold with silver, and it made me really uncomfortable. It just made me really, really uncomfortable, and I just didn't know why that was happening. And so there's things like that I feel like they just don't go. Like, so yeah, a yellow gold with a brass gold, like a totally different tone of gold, like, or maybe were they also mixing rose gold with yellow gold? None of it goes. Sorry. If you have two different types of yellow golds that are slightly different shade of yellow gold, not rose gold, like, I think that's fine. But yeah, when it's like a totally different tone, it's not gonna work, in my opinion. So I'm scared of that happening. So with the door, I gave up the gold idea for the door hinge and the doorknob, and so I was like, I'll just do black. And then for some reason I got this crazy idea, yeah, to paint the door black. And then I was like, oh, I should also paint the inside of the closet black. And then like I said earlier in this video, I was like, too Cruella de Vil, too much contrast. And then I also was just like, I gotta tie that in. Like, I need to have some fixtures in the room that, like, the doorknob, yes, is black, whatever. But I was like, is that enough? Is that enough to justify the black door? And then, like, am I gonna have too many black? And then I started freaking out about the shelf that I haven't put up yet because I got a white one. But I remember at the time I was trying to decide if I wanted the black dark one, but I thought what would go with my plants and my plant pots. And so I ultimately decided on the white one. But then I was like, oh, if I'm gonna have this like white and black, vibe, maybe I should have gotten the white shelf, because also I had a resistance to getting the white shelf because white gets dirty really quickly and stuff like that, right? And you know me with the scratches on the cell phones and that. So I'm in a conflict here with design and the colors going versus durability and scratches. Like, it's hard. It's hard to choose. It's hard, like, which one? Like, do you get the black shelf, not as aesthetically nice with the white, but, like, if you get a stain, you can get it. It's not really a problem. Like, so anyways, I thought the black was going to be too much for the door and the inside of the closet. Well, I wanted to paint the inside of the closet a dark color, too. I thought would be cool because I was going to have the bed coming out of it. So it's like my little cove. So it's like my dark little safe cove place. Might regret putting my bed in the closet. I might not have space for all my shit, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm fully committing to that. But I was like, maybe not black, like too dark. Maybe something with like a certain tone, like a greenish black or like a blue, like I don't know. I just thought, or like a grayish black. I just thought, again, the contrast with the white would be really just like intense and startling, especially if it's just like everything, all the walls are white and everything, and then just the door is like pitch black or something. I just thought it would be a little bit jolting. But so yeah, I thought of doing like the greenish thing, like a really dark olive green, and then I can't decide. I'm supposed to get some paint, and now I'm considering just going back to just doing everything the initial way of what I was going to do it, which was like all just do it the same white color as the walls. The only thing is I just don't want to do so many coats of paint to get it to like cover the walls. But before I left to like get the paint, my partner was telling me he painted a closet one time a dark color. It was white and he painted it like a dark brown, and he said it took so much paint to do it because it just like sucked up the paint. Like I thought it'd be easy to paint it dark because I've been trying to paint things lighter. Like my room took so many coats and it's still kind of streaky, but I've had to accept it, and it was a light blue. So I was doing like white over light blue, and my paint is like a primer and paint in one. And so I thought if I'm painting like a white wall black, it should go on pretty easy. But now don't know if that's the case, because whatever closet wall is made out of is like a extra drywall-y absorbent type of material that I think it just like really soaks up the paint. So it's like gonna take maybe a lot longer to do it. Like I was trying to cut corners by doing it the dark color too, but this tangent we went on is probably like a metaphor for the internal feelings that like it's being manifested in this way with the room and everything. And I'm just like going crazy over this room, and like my sleep's all messed up, not going to the gym, not eating properly. All I've been thinking about is this room. There's something obviously unbalanced here that we need to just chill. But today I was determined to keep going on the room because there's a few, I got to do the whole window. I did spackling the other day there were some holes on the window frame thing trim. But like there's a lot that I could still do before I get to the closet or the door part. Like those things are actually kind of like coming last. But I don't know, I'm like in this frenzy about it, and then I don't friggin' get not productive. Like here we are, what time is it? I don't know, like 5. And I'm just like, it's rush hour. I just like don't want to get the paint. I thought if I just commit and get the black paint that I'll finish the whole thing tonight. Like I'll just go. These people are distracting. I gotta go. I think it's time. I just don't know what to do. I just want like a massive caffeinated thing that's not gonna make me less anxious. Obviously it's gonna make me more anxious, but it's like that happiness, like the dopamine, like that's what I want. But these things come at a cost. Like it's expensive to keep up with a junk food habit, but like I have this free, I go to this coffee shop and you get a punch card whenever you get a drink, and then every however many drinks you get one free, and I have had a free one for a while, just haven't used it yet. And then there's another neurotic thing, like I'm quite sensitive to caffeine, so I don't need a lot, but I just can't give up a free drink. Like I'm not gonna get the small. Like when I get a free drink any size, I'm gonna get the extra large. I'm not gonna get the small one. So I already planned this in my head. Like I prep for this day. I'm like, it's gonna be a day that I get up at 7 a.m. and then I pace myself. I get this like large frappuccino drink and I drink it throughout the day so that I don't get too much of a caffeine spike and I'm just like shaky and having a full-on panic attack. But my sleep's so messed up, so I haven't been able to wake up early enough to do that. So I don't know, I just justify it with like, once I have my big caffeine drink, I'm gonna get all my painting done. And I've done this time and time before. Like sometimes I will have like a matcha frap or something and then accomplish a good amount of the painting. But it's not true that it was because of the frappuccino necessarily. Like that's just not true. But those are that's the circuitry in my brain, right? And then today especially, I was like, do one coat, paint one coat of the window frame. Like you have to wait 4 hours for it to dry to do the second coat. So paint something right away. And then if you must go get your friggin' massive caramel macchiato, whatever the fuck. At least at that point you got one coat done, and then you can have done something, but today I've done nothing. And then it's like, I've already invested so much time in like being excited about this drink that it would just suck to just go home and not have the drink and then just paint and like not have the boost of the thing. But like, might get, you know, what also happens is like, I get a big caffeinated drink too much of it too quick, and then I'm just too like zoomed up to paint. I don't know, I can't focus at that point. It's like too much stimulation. Then I don't paint, then I do like everything but the painting, or I'm like, I need to run and sprint, like I can't with this energy. So it's fun times. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to talk about painting for this whole thing. I know the title is kind of deceiving, so maybe we will conclude with the no contact with my family is starting to get difficult, I guess, with the feelings again. Like, it just sucks having these waves of, it's chill, I don't care, but it's just like, what obviously exacerbated especially was my birthday happening and like not communicating with people, and like gifts being given, and then like something being sent to me in the mail and stuff, and then not calling that person, being like, oh, thank you for your letter, or like, it just, I feel bad about it, but I'm just not, I just don't feel I'm just like, so also, especially in a state that I'm not as grounded and I am more anxious and stuff, so I just don't want to like expose myself sometimes to energy that will affect me in a way. And then also broaching, like having this long period of no contact, and then is it really just going to be a simple like, oh hey, it's going good, or is it going to be like, where have you been, and da, 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 and it's like, I don't know how to explain to you. I don't like that. I don't like feeling like I'm on a different wavelength than people that like other people that are in this journey would understand more, but then they wouldn't even be the people having to break contact with each other as much. But then there's like a difference between having a break, like with my friend, what I talked about earlier, where we hadn't talked for quite a while and I got all weird about something, and then felt hurt or something like that, and then I like didn't want to talk to her, but she's not like, why aren't you talking to me, or what's going on, or and my family hasn't really done that as much. Like, they've been pretty chill about the space thing, but then I had someone blocked, and then I saw some messages because I think something happened to their phone, so they were using a laptop email or something to go on iMessage, and so then now I've like seen a new communication stream, and then it's like, oh, this person maybe has been trying to contact me this whole time and they don't know that I've blocked them. And like, my friend and I were just chill, like it's so chill because she's for a very long time, like she's been she just like takes her breaks from people and everyone, and she is more introverted. But I'm like so that way now. Like, I'm so getting that. Like, I get it. I so get it. It's like, oh yeah, I just want to like not with anyone. I just want to disappear and stuff. And so with her, it's so chill because she's not really intense, like trying to get at me. And like, if she did end up getting concerned or something, you know, she would just be like, oh, looking for a check-in or whatever. But it takes so much. Like, that's never happened with her. Whereas other people, like every other person, there's a pressure to keep up. There's some sort of pressure. How long is okay to go? And then I don't want to have to keep, because I'm always in a hermited state pretty much these days. I'm always in a hermited state. So I don't want to announce like every week or constantly like, hey, I'm hermiting. Hey, I'm hermiting. Hey, I'm doing this. And then, but I just ignore my phone, and then I revisited my phone after my birthday, and then I saw all these calls, and then like an uncle of mine had tried to just like call me to just say happy birthday, right? And so I just felt bad. I like texted him being like, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, my phone was off, because he's like, oh, I tried calling you and that, and I just like hate digital communication. I just hate it. It sucks. You know what I was thinking? You know what I was thinking the other day? How much easier it would be, like, if you, back in the olden days, wanted to go no contact. So easy. So easy. All the time, people, all you had to do was get away. You had to just get out of your little dinky old town and go on a boat somewhere, not even, get on a horse, just go a little bit. They didn't have phones. Maybe they wrote letters. Maybe you move again and they don't get your new address, and but like they didn't write letters every day except in the notebook, and that is pretty flattering. Like if Ryan Gosling were writing me 365 letters, that's okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Also, she wanted the letters, but her mom kept them from her, and how bullshit is that? Sorry, overly controlling. So like, yeah, back in the day, it wasn't you. I just think too, people were like, there's pros and cons. Like, shit was chaotic back then, for sure. Shit was chaotic with a lot of things, but people did have to grow up fast. Like, there's some tough shit people have gone through. Like, learning about my one of my grandpas, like, I did his slideshow for his funeral, and like I had to get in, like I wanted a backstory and to put all the photos together. Like he was like hard life, like working at 5 years old as an orphan, like adopted just to work on the farm, like to do a full-time job, like trying to keep up with his school, but like he was working, like it's just so sad. It's so sad. So there's like sketchy things like that weren't great, but there was maybe less enmeshment, like you were maybe your own individual person more, especially like when you hit adulthood. Most people fully detached, I think, from their families back in the day. Like now it seems more, in my opinion, it just seems more enmeshed than ever, because maybe also when the cell phone came along, like you just couldn't even get away. You just wanted to chill and hang out with your friends, and you just had to give these updates, like, it's like, where are you? Oh, I'm here now, I'm here. Whereas like back in the day, it'd be like, just be home by dinner, be home by 5, bye, go play, bye-bye, have a life. So yeah, it's just, we're too much all up in each other's biz, and so I can't with the phone and the amount of closeness and communication, and it's just because it's like, it's a conundrum, because like I feel so disconnected and not close, because I just said, well, I have a hard time connecting with these specific people. Like just because someone's there and physically present does not mean that you are actually connecting with them on a certain wavelength that I would prefer than more surface level, whatever. So that's the live stream. Those are my thoughts. I don't know what to do. Like, I already, on my birthday, which was, what's today, the 14th? I don't know. My birthday was June 11th. I had, like, a whole hot and ready medium pizza on my birthday. And, like, I was going to do the caffeine thing. And then I started craving a pizza. And I've been doing, like, intermittent fasting. Not, like, that has helped to reset my taste buds in ways. But then again, it just is like, oh, I could just like have a whole pizza because I've fasted all day. Like, and I'm just like lazy to make the food. Like, I don't have protein. Like, I got some salad stuff, but I need to stock up on the protein. And then it's like, do I really want to go to the grocery store? Do I really want to deal with the people? Like, they're fine, it's gonna be okay, but I just, the vibe about those places on a day like this, it's not where it's at. So it's just hard. It's like, I can't possibly get the pizza and the drink, but the drink's free. So it's okay. But it's like, well, yesterday you had, you know, this, you know, frappuccino, and then this other day you had this, and then you had that. Like, it adds up. And it's, yeah, it's just, it's not okay. And as much as my partner, like, it's just embarrassing and sad to say this, that like he funds this habit as well. So it's like, as chill as he can be and stuff with these things, it's not good. Like, it's not good to just be spending the money on the things, but I just don't know. It's just hard to cope, and I'm just like, ugh. I can't. Like, I don't even want the caffeine anymore. Like, it's not gonna make me feel good, but it's just the urge. And then, I don't know. I just have an aversion to healthy food. It's the chemicals, too, obviously. There's freaking chemicals fucking up my brain, and then that's annoying. But it's so annoying. Like, I don't crave this when I don't eat it. Like, once I have that little taste for it, I just crave that thing again, whatever chemical's in that thing. So maybe there's an alternative that I could have, something more like comfort food and yummy, but that I made myself or got from the grocery store, that I can see all the ingredients in it. It doesn't have like a bunch of wacky chemicals. It's like more minimal or something, like, or maybe, yeah, if I'm craving carbs or something, or pizza, like, I make my own homemade version of that. Like, I get a fancy type of bread and then put the cheese and then like get my own pepperoni or something. But like, it's just so much effort. I'm just lazy, and I'm supposed to paint, and like, oh. Okay, that's a live stream. Signing off. Bye-bye.